This is Steve from Boxing UK in association with Eddie Hearn. 438th interview today, Eddie.
I know. I like you, Steve, because you got a headband on.
It's because it's red hot, mate. I'm about your age, Eddie.
How old are you?
I'm 48.
Are you? I'm 43, you cheeky bastard.
I know, I thought I'd get away with that.
I love you. Because you, at 48, should never be wearing a hairband. And I should never be doing a lot of things I'm doing. Do you know what I mean? Like the crotch, like the side sweep, all this sort of stuff. We're both hanging on, Steve. I'm hanging on to a bit of a hairline. You know, sometimes you're looking a little bit chubby. You're looking all right today, though, Steve. As you can see, I'm ripped to shreds these days. But me and you, we're in the battle together. And that's why I like you, Steve.
I'll remember that all week, Eddie, when I'm after an interview for you. I'll shout that one out.
Good one of us.
How big is this week for you, Eddie?
It's big. You know, I think... I don't want to sound arrogant, because you know I'd never do that. But sometimes...
You kept a straight face there.
You did. You smirked. I've been involved in so many big occasions, big fights. Sometimes things have just become a little bit more personal rather than business. So here, this week, I feel like, and I actually want to feel like the B-side camp. Do you know what I mean? And I want AJ to feel like that as well. He's got fuck all, right? No belts, nothing. Usyk's got everything. You can rock up this week in a smash and grab and win all these world heavyweight titles, the Ring Magazine belt now included. Come into this feeling like the challenger, you know. So it's like it's friendly, but fuck everybody. Like we'll do all our jobs, we'll speak to everybody, but smash and grab time. Do you know what I mean? Come in there, and for years it's been the AJ Roadshow. You know, selling out Wembley, selling out. It don't really matter who he fights. MSG, Riyadh. Now, come in as the B-side, and you're the underdog. People writing you off. So how big will this be if you can do this, if you can win this fight? It'll be massive. One of the greatest wins for a British fighter of all time. History. That's what he's here for. So pumped. I mean, it's Monday. And I mustn't peak too early, Steve.
You've got 6 days left, Eddie.
I'll be honest with you, I'm absolutely buzzing right now.
How does he do it, Eddie? We last spoke about AJ versus Usyk in the bowels of Spurs Stadium. And it was safe to see you were absolutely devastated. A lot of criticism with the game plan, a lot of criticism with the corner. How does AJ turn that around this Saturday?
It's not just, you know, so many people say, you've got to be more aggressive, you've got to do this. Yes, he does, but he's got to be smart. The key to this fight, in my opinion, is once that 6th round bell goes for the end of the round, this guy's got to be out of there, or he's got to be damaged or in a place that he really wishes he will never want to go back to again. Because you let this guy get into his rhythm, it could be unbeatable. Do you know what I mean? And you let this guy drain you, you let this guy make you do things with your feet that you've never done before, you're not going to win this fight. You've got to hit him hard to the body, to the arm, to the shoulder, to the neck, and you've got to damage him. You've got to break him down his tracks. You've got to do what Chisora did, but with more ferocity and sharper feet and with more speed and accuracy as well. But it's a very tough challenge. But that is, for me, the key to this fight is those first 6 rounds. What you can't afford to do is go back at the end of the 6th round with Usyk going, feel good. And that's what happened at Spurs. He got too comfortable, too early in the fight, and just went through the gears from there.
If that's the tactics, Eddie, common wisdom is that this doesn't go to points. Would you agree?
I don't want it to go to points. I don't like this fight going to points for Anthony Joshua. You know, he can win the fight on points, but I want him to knock Alexander Usyk's spark out, because I don't want any mucking around. I want a nice clean stoppage where we can all dive in the ring, celebrate, and go in with all the belts. That's what we want. And it's well doable. It's a very tough challenge. This isn't the Andy Ruiz rematch. This is another level, this fight. This is a pound for pound number 1 you're up against. So, you know, this is a very tough fight, but one I believe he can win.
You've mentioned the Ring Magazine belts in there, Eddie. If AJ pulls this off, where would this rank, not just for you and Matchroom, but where would this rank in terms of British boxing history?
I just think, Steve, like, you know how many people said he shouldn't take the first fight, you know, and afterwards he should have vacated. What's he doing fighting Usyk? Yeah, you vacate the belts and you get so much criticism. Loses the fight, oh, he shouldn't fight Usyk again. Swerve that, go straight into the fight. Give him the respect, and if he wins, which we believe he will, give him the respect as an all-time great. If you beat the pound for pound number 1, I'm not saying you always go to pound for pound number 1. Bivol, a good example of that. But you're right up there on the pound for pound list. And his resume, the ability to just keep taking these challenges, fight the top fighters in the division. I don't know what else you want. And I know that he's a massive star. I know that he's been built, and I know he's been, some people feel at times, manufactured by big commercial organisations. He's a fucking serious fighter that's got an unbelievable resume. Support him. And if you're not riding with AJ this week, fuck off. Because I ain't in the mood.
That's fair enough. Eddie, I have to, if he loses, where does he go? There's certain pundits that say he should retire.
I mean, look, there's certain pundits say he should retire. The fact is, if you lose to the pound for pound number one, sorry, it ain't the greatest shame in the world. But of course, you never want back-to-back defeats. He needs to get active. The pandemic and these big events have meant that he hasn't been as active as he should be. But not looking at where we go if we lose, just where do we go when we win.
And where do you go if we win?
Vegas, probably, for a party. No, I don't know. Look, I'm very honoured that the Ring Magazine belt's on the line this week. But the undisputed is the aim. And I'm quite glad. If Fury never fights again, then I wish that the WBC was on the line this week. But I would much rather AJ beat Fury for the undisputed. So we'll see what happens in the week.
Has Tyson Fury retired, Eddie?
Apparently at the moment, but he also retired a week ago and 3 weeks before that. So we'll see.
Can you talk about the rest of the card, Eddie? There's a couple of Matchroom fighters on there.
Yeah, our fights. We have 3 other fights on the card, which is Filip Hrgovic against Zhilei Zhang, final eliminator for the IBF World Heavyweight title, and Callum Smith against Paul Elite, another really good fight, final eliminator for the WBC World Light Heavyweight title. Ramla Ali, the first female fighter to fight in the Kingdom. Andrew Tabiti over there. I believe Ben Whittaker's fighting earlier in the night as well. It's a good card.
Last time we spoke was in the O2, and you said, quite honestly, that you'd put a few noses out of joint in your quest with DAZN. Will that affect anything with Sky this week? We went with Sky, or are they okay with you?
No, I mean, look, we have a great business relationship with Sky across many of our sports, particularly darts. We made our move in boxing to another broadcaster. I don't think it went down very well, but it's business and it's become very competitive. I would never, as you know, Steve, turn down an interview. I've never done it with you. I've never done it with any outlet.
I can vouch for that, Eddie, yeah.
I would certainly never do it with Sky. Now, if they don't want to interview me, I don't know, because they never want to cover my events anymore, no matter how big or small.
Is that a nod to Eubank, Ben?
No, I did see one article on Eubank, Ben. But Taylor Serrano, Warrington becoming world champion again, Conlan Wood fight. I mean, look, there's a lot of people that say, Matchroom might be on the slip, and then we go and win every award on the ESPN boxing offices. Fight of the year, male, female, knockout of the year, male, upset of the year, everything. So we're doing just fine. But whether they want to talk to me or not, but of course I would always speak to the UK broadcaster of any event, and it's competitive. And for me, the only thing that leaves a little bit of bad taste in my mouth is that when I was with Sky, and it was a tremendous relationship, I always used to moan about how much coverage they would give other boxing. I don't mind admitting it. I would see Frank Warren shows getting loads of coverage on Sky Sports News and across social, and I'd think, why are you pushing that? You should be pushing our shows. We're independent, we cover all boxing. It's like actually DAZN say the same thing now, because I moan to DAZN. They cover everything. And then all of a sudden, I went, and now they don't cover anything. Well, they certainly don't cover Matchroom shows. So that's a little bit naughty, especially when you've got Taylor Serrano. Ben Eubank's the biggest fight of the year by a mile, right? I mean, and it's like, it's reluctant they would just hide an article there. Like, if you're going to provide a service for fight fans, and that's what they always told me, and DAZN say the same thing, we provide a service for fight fans and subscribers. That means, sorry Eddie, we don't just talk about your shows, we talk about all the great shows around the world. And we make sure we give news, features, videos, content to our subscribers and to fight fans. And we will build the platform on that basis. And you look at DAZN's social numbers, they were right. So that's it, but they haven't asked me to interview me yet. They will. Do you know why?
Because you're Eddie Hearn?
No, well, that's true as well. But the main reason, you've got to drive the pay-per-views. And no one drives a pay-per-view like Eddie Hearn.
Eddie, now that we're brothers, I hope to catch you a few times during the week. Thanks for your time, mate.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.